Good day, everybody. Gord King here with Returnal Part 1. Happy to be with you all this fine Tuesday, and really looking forward to playing this game again, because, my gosh, this is an amazing game. It's really just, it's that simple. As some of you know, I actually played this a little bit on the main channel a while back. I think it was back in September. And then I stopped playing it because I was starting up the Resident Evil games for the month of Halloween. So I never got to finish this online, but I did finish this off stream, and not gonna lie, this might actually be my favorite PS5 game, period. It's absolutely incredible, so yeah, I am really psyched to be playing this again, this time to completion for the live audience. And I might even take the footage from these streams for this game and make a video of it down the road, because this is a game that more people need to buy. It unfortunately was a bit of a flop, and that really does not sit well with me. I think this game's brilliant, and yeah, looking forward to going through it again. This one's pretty awesome. And hello there, CLS Studios. Thanks for joining me. Happy to have you here. And we got our lady Celine here. What's funny is the very first time I posted something on Twitter about this how great this game was, somebody was like, "Is she a lesbian?" Yeah, because she's short-haired and everything. And I was like, they don't really talk about it. I mean, she does bring up a couple of times that she refers to her significant other as a partner, but never in detail. So it's like, is she? She might be, but it's never explicitly stated. And she does have a kid, so it's like, that's a little bit more vagary to it. So, but the question was basically asked, like, is this game like in any way woke or something like that? And the answer to that is a hard no. It isn't. And hello, Jacob Ironside. Good to see you. But yeah, this is not a woke game. This is a flat-out phenomenal game, period. When did this come out? 2021. It was developed by housemarque, who did the PS4 classic Resogun, which is one of my favorite games on the PS4. And this is a very different kind of game, and yet the bullet hell concept is present in both. And I can't deny that if you've played Resogun like I have, it can be helpful. She's got the Hillary hair. I don't know if she quite has the Hillary hair. I think her hair's a little shorter than Hillary's. And no pantsuits either. She just has kind of the short-haired, blonde kind of look, yeah. But, alright, so there we go. They don't want me to go back in there just yet. But yeah, this game, it's so cool. I love it. I love it! Just gotta re-familiarize myself with the controls and whatnot. Got our little boost here, a little jetpack. One thing I am starting to notice is my controller has a little bit of drag has a little bit of drag on it. It tends to like to drag downwards, so hopefully that won't be an issue, but it's starting to look like I might have to invest in a new controller relatively soon.
Foundations and statues.
Oh no, that's understandable, CLS, and plus I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, games like this, I mean, you'll probably be able to get it on sale at some point down the road anyway. But It is a PS5 or PC exclusive. I do know that much. But, yeah. Yeah, short hair, easier to put a helmet on. Exactly. I think the game is intentionally vague on, her sexuality or whatever, and I think that's intentional. I don't think they wanted you to care about that.
Scout log. Atropos. I have found a deceased Astra Scout here. Checking identification on helmet. It's...
Of course, this is where she finds a dead version of herself, which kind of gets the narrative sort of kicked off. She's crashed on this strange world, and she's seeing a dead version of herself. I honestly think the way they've pieced together this narrative, and yet keep a lot of things vague about it, it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
My sidearm. Continuing towards the signal's origin.
Alright. She's looking for this signal called White Shadow, which obviously kinda racist. Got a little health stuff here. Now we're happy. Suit computer, all that stuff. Siliphium. This is an alien fungus that's basically for healing. Isn't that nice? Oh no, it's locked. So we have to find a key. Yeah, all these little environmental touches, these things reaching out for you. It's really, really neat. I like it. Especially as you start to realize what a lot of it means. And of course you have these things. That's another dead version of you. So is there a specific reason it's my favorite? It's a combination of things. I think it has spectacular gameplay. Well, first off, let me point out, I'm not saying explicitly that it's my favorite. I'm saying it might be. I tend to not, I don't tend to commit to such takes until I know for sure. But I would say it's kind of between this and maybe like Elden Ring for my favorite game of this current PS5, Xbox One, whatever the new Xbox series is called. I don't even freaking know. This particular console generation, this and Elden Ring are probably my two favorites. I can't think of another one that competes with them, but yeah, this one, it's a combination of the gameplay and the story. I think this has
recorded log found.
Woven in a pretty outstanding story that I really, really loved. I had a really hard time putting this game down even after I beat it.
Atropos. Elapsed time 30 minutes since last crash. Whole areas of this forest are rearranging themselves like a fluid puzzle after each of my... Whenever I return, per Astra protocol, I will not be recovered until I reach the broadcast signal.
This game definitely has Lovecraftian horror in it. Yes, it does. It's a really interesting mix of like sci-fi, Lovecraft, mythology.
I don't remember recording that.
There's a lot of elements they incorporate in this that I think work pretty dang well. My favorite game back on the PS2 was the OG Transformers game, but if we're talking new stuff, I don't know, maybe... I don't know what TOTK is off the top of my head. Tears of the Kingdom? Or Dead... Oh, okay, Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I have it now. I got it fairly recently. But I haven't played it yet. If we're talking my favorite game of all time, my favorite games of all time are Mass Effect. Mass Effect is my favorite game series of all time, but that was previous generation. This specific console generation, this is my favorite game. Or Elden Ring. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do lean towards this one right now. But then again, it's more fresh on my mind. We'll see how it holds up on the second playthrough. It takes a bit of patience, which really, I mean, look, I'm a Zelda veteran. I've been playing Zelda games most of my life, so and I've played Breath of the Wild, and I know what to expect from a Zelda game. I love Zelda games. My favorite Zelda game, though, is Ocarina of Time, so that's my all-time favorite one. I'm still working on my Lovecraftian raccoon comic strip. Awesome. Raccoon-Thulu, as I called it. I will also say this game has one of the best usages of music I have ever seen in any video game ever. It's a particular moment in the game where a song is incorporated in a way that I'm not gonna lie, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I really, really loved it. So and I didn't get to do that moment on stream either, so I am looking forward to this time. I'm also curious how long this game will take me now that I have a better grasp on how to play it. Because if anyone remembers when I did play this game live the first time, it took me a while to figure things out. Like, it took several streams to even figure out how this game worked mechanically, how to progress. That was not easy. But now that I do, OST in games are usually great. Well, here's the thing, CLS. It's not it's not an original song. And yet it's okay. How can I phrase this correctly? The song it's using for this particular moment, it's not an original song. It's kind of a video game cover of it, if that... I mean, I kind of don't want to clear it up 100%, but, when we get there. When we get there. Malignant K. I'm going to pick it up. Got to kill 10 hostiles to cure the malfunction. Oh, wow. Okay, while stationary, weapon damage is down 75%, so, just got to make sure I'm not stationary as much as possible. Got to shoot on the move. Yes, it is very interesting. Alright, we shoot those switches, these little babies here. They open up. Sammy, 3-Pete, what's going on? I love it. Yes, I do too, Sammy. I was just regaling the people here about my genuine love for this title and how it might actually be my favorite PS5 game, period, even more than Elden Ring. But yeah, I adore this game. I'll tell you this also, there's a really creepy book, and you can actually listen to the audiobook on here on YouTube. And it's not even particularly long, but the book is called I Have No Mouth, and it says I have no mouth and I must scream. There's a video that somebody did kind of analyzing the plot of this and its similarities to that. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if I totally agree. Like, he's like, oh, it's just that in video game form. And he's not saying that as an insult or anything. I don't know if I fully agree with the conclusion. But, it's still an interesting video. I still think it's a good video. And the audiobook I did listen to, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty wild. I think there are similarities, of course, but, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not an unfamous. I had heard of it before I'd watched the video. I had just never actually listened to or read it.
I have tried everything.
It's similar to it, CLS. There are similarities to it.
There is a moment between death and rebirth when tentacles...
I think there's a lot of differences between the two. There's conceptual similarities. But honestly, there's similarities between this and quite a few stories. I don't think it's exclusive to that one. And it's very possible that story did it first. I honestly don't know, because I know that short story is was it made like in the 60s or something like that? So it's a bit of an older story, but yeah, I mean, it is still a really good video the guy did. I don't know if it's trying to be a direct parallel, but yeah, it's pretty cool. The short story is pretty dang disturbing. Oof. Now I kind of get the sense that this is a fight you can win, but they don't want you to. Because this is actually this is part of the beginning of the game, no matter what. Just got YouTube saver, thanks to... Oh, hey, no problem, man. Awesome. No, Sammy's been on. Sammy is, he and I have been on, we were on a panel on Roman's show together. I know if I haven't already invited Sammy to a show of mine, I think I have. I think he is going to be on one coming up. But yeah, Sammy's a good dude. But yeah, there's the title sequence. You die, and then you come back. Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's right, the Warriors. That's the one you'll be on.
Astra, this is Celine. I survived the...
I couldn't remember exactly because I know, I met you, I think, not long after, or not long after or before I was already starting to put my schedule out. But, yeah. Alright, there's Scout Rank 1. There's, some stats and whatnot. Got a little bed here. Got some books. She has some interesting books here. The Abdication of Zeus. A lot of mythological stories here. And you get some pretty cool imagery here if you take a bit of a rest. I would say this also, this game I think features one of the coolest plot twists in any game that I've played. And it wasn't because I didn't fully expect it. It's just the way it played out. I was like, oh, that was a bit of a rush. It was cool. I've only been chatting like this since September, so I didn't know. There you go. But hey, now you've met. Now you know each other. I meet new people in old chats all the time. No, this was the game that preceded all the crashing, if I'm not mistaken. The Resident Evil, I'm still getting my channel together, so... And guys like Gordon, Jacob, really help me out. Oh, well, you're welcome. Oh, no! It's that guy. And that guy! But, yeah, my stream, my Resident Evil streams, I think, were the ones that, initially were doing all the crashing. So it was right after this. What happened that caused that? It was issues with my internet service provider. They were doing maintenance in the area. Like, they were doing an update, I should say, in the area, and it took them a really long time to get it fixed. And, part of it also was just me, for a little while, I also got out of sync with just doing it. But, it gave me time to plan like my live show that I do, stuff like that. So, you know, it became sort of a blessing in disguise. And we cannot go down here yet, really for a while. So we will forego that. Can't go down there because we can't get in the water yet. But yeah, I think the streams from here on should be good. Should be all right. I also I went ahead and changed some of the settings also for how the games appear on stream. Like I downgraded the quality just a tad, so the amount of memory that gets used up while I do it is significantly lower. So that helps. But I'll actually be trying a lot of the games that I've previously played on the main channel. Oh crap! I kept some of the footage for those, but a lot of those games I will eventually replay on this channel. I didn't re-upload them, and I didn't keep the footage because I think it'd be fun to replay them anyway. This obviously being one of them. Weapon charger. Neat.
Discovered. Augments my weapon with an alternative firing mechanism.
And that's a permanent change.
Highly effective.
Shoot that off.
This will be useful.
I think the only game footage I have left to re-upload from a game I don't plan on playing again on stream is Resident Evil 1. So, there you go. Jalen, what's going on? Final Fantasy was finished? Yes, it was. Well, I mean, now granted, there is part of Final Fantasy VII I could still play because they have the Integrate DLC, which I do have, but I decided I'm gonna save that for later, probably for when whenever I play Rebirth. That's when I'll play Integrate. Because the ending of the base game felt like a good ending, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's a good place to end these. And plus, I was honestly really anxious to get into this because I love this game. But eventually, yeah, I'll get Rebirth somewhere down the road, and I'll play Integrate at that time.
Device acquired. I think this will prove a useful tool.
And also, I've been playing a little bit of the that Stellar Blade demo that came out, and it's not just a boobs and butt game. It's actually kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty fun. I like it. It's a pretty entertaining game, I must admit. So I'm gonna play more of the demo. I'm gonna finish the demo. I don't know, should I? Well, no, I'm not gonna do it live in all likelihood because the game will be out fairly soon, but I'm gonna use the demo kind of to decide whether or not I'm gonna buy it and whether or not it'll be a game I'm willing to pay a little or a lot for. But it's promising so far. I do like it. It's fun. Ooh. You have this little chamber. It's a respawn chamber. And we have our door. Head on through. I think today also is the day where a lot of people we know are on their way to Vegas. Some have even already arrived there. So that's kind of neat. 'Cause I know they're doing the Vegas meetup. Oh yeah, new gun. I like this gun. This is actually probably my favorite gun in the game, overall. It's not necessarily the best gun, but I think it's for me the most consistent.
discovered a massive
Israel,
wall
what's
which
going
is the
on?
Black Shadow signal. I can't cross the chasm. For now, I'll change
I'll say this also, the DLC for Returnal,
forest.
which is basically just this enormous tower that you have to ascend floor by floor, which I decided not to finish. I mean, I got pretty dang close to finishing it, but I decided not to finish that. So that'll be the one part of the game I do that, whatever the ending to that is, we'll be experiencing that together. But the DLC is pretty cool. Do you like the Austin Powers trilogy? Do you find them those? I do like the Austin Powers trilogy. Yeah, they're pretty dang funny. I mean, they're not like, they're not necessarily among my my absolute favorite. I mean, they're not like, you know, 10 out of 10 comedies or anything. But pretty dang good. It's not like the best like comedy series I've ever watched. The best comedy trilogy of all time is easily The Naked Gun. The Naked Gun trilogy is incredible. Because like literally all three of those movies are hilarious. But Austin Powers is pretty dang good. I like it. They're pretty dang funny. Like, I would say Austin Powers at its comedic best is like an 8 out of 10 maybe, or maybe 7.5. Naked Guns get closer to like 9. Maybe even 10 as far as comedy is concerned.
I've encountered our black box technology holograms. They're showing my last moments.
Yep. And some of those come to life, and you have to fight them. And you can avenge them if you use up some ether, which I don't have the ether to use them. And honestly, I don't like avenging those. Okay, this I cannot break open yet until I get the blade. Curious why you would ask, Israel. Is it because you haven't seen them, or because you have and you're just curious what I think, or what? If you like Naked Gun, you also love superhero movie. Leslie Nielsen's pretty funny. I mean, I don't know if they're going to reach that kind of level. I mean, but yeah, I've heard good things about superhero movie. I've heard it's pretty dang funny. I guess the weird thing is, like, I don't particularly like the scary movie films that much. I think the first two are a little bit overrated and not too funny. Goldmember, respectively. See, I think The Spy Who Shagged Me is the funniest one. I think that's the funniest one. Like, to me, those movies get funnier on repeat. Like, the first time I watched them, I wasn't exactly sure how I felt. I was like, okay, these are funny, but I don't know if they're actually good, but they hold up pretty well. They get funnier on rewatch, so yeah, I got to give them the flowers. They're pretty good. Alright, can't go down there just yet. Let's check our map. So, going to the right is the only way. So, to the right we shall go. But are they gourd tier funny? No, they're not quite gourd tier.
I have interacted with other versions of myself. But I worry one day I will re-experience these same interactions from their perspectives.
Yeah.
But are they truly me? Or just hollowed corpses?
I like these scout logs because you see like this progressive kind of a descent into madness. Alright, so we're going to... Ace Ventura is gorgeous. Ace Ventura is pretty dang good. Ace Ventura is pretty freaking hilarious. And Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, is underrated. It's not as good as the first one overall, but it does have the funniest moment out of the two films. That moment where he's coming out of the rhino is just unbelievably funny. It is just peak comedy. So yeah, I like. Is it like a 10 out of 10 comedy? No, but it's pretty dang good. I don't think there are that many 10 out of 10 comedies. Like I would say of all the genres, comedies might have the least number of like 10 out of 10s. Because it's dang hard to be funny over and over and over again and like at the highest possible levels. But there are a few. There are a few. I know Monty Python and the Holy Grail is my favorite. I think that's a 10 out of 10 comedy. Hot Fuzz is a 10 out of 10 comedy. Have I seen Yes Man? Yeah, I liked Yes Man. Yes Man was pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed Yes Man. I mean, it wasn't a great comedy, but I think everything in Pet Detective was funnier than the stuff in Nature Calls. I think almost everything. Dumb and Dumber's great. I really like Dumb and Dumber. I wouldn't put it as a 10 out of 10, but it's dang good. Naked Gun's up there. Those are like, they may not be 10s, but gosh, they're close. I don't even know. They might even be 10s. I don't know if I've seen those enough to call them 9s or 10s yet. Every time I watch Monty Python, I get sick and I'm not watching it. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail absolutely kills me. I disagree, Israel. Dumb and Dumber's hilarious. Dumb and Dumber's a very self-aware comedy. It knows what it is. Yeah, I think Dumb and Dumber's great. I think you could argue Dumb and Dumber's a funnier movie than Ace Ventura, honestly. I'm not sure which one I like more. I think I lean towards Ace Ventura being the funnier one, but if someone told me I prefer Dumb and Dumber, I'd be like, that makes sense. I get it. It's all foggy. I said Dumb and Dumber. Oh, Dumb and Dumber 2. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Well, I didn't bother to watch Dumb and Dumber 2. I thought the trailer was so cringe that I didn't bother, and I've seen clips from it, and I was like, this is kind of rough. Nor did I watch that Dumb and Dumber, whatever the heck that was trying to be. We're getting a new thing.
Phenotype technology on the corpse of a sentient. Scan is indicating potential for suit augmentation.
She's like, okay, here we go. We're gonna stick this on our backs.
Appears safe to repurpose.
It's funny moments, but yeah, it's nothing compared to one. Dumb and Dumber is a POS that nobody should watch. Yeah. Like, I'll tell you, like, the hardest comedy, and I don't even know if it doesn't even hardly count as a movie. It's technically a movie. It came out in theaters. It's called a movie, but it's not really a movie. It doesn't have a plot. But it's, so I don't know how I would score it. It doesn't really hold up on rewatch, but I swear the first time I watched it, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen was Jackass the movie. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched Jackass, like, I was in pain. I was laughing so hard. But it does not hold up much at all on rewatch. I mean, maybe if you space out your viewings over a long period of time, maybe. But familiarity, I think, kind of kills those types of things. It's like watching something like Wipeout. Like, the first couple times you see a fail, like something you see in Wipeout, it can be really funny. But if you watch it over and over again, it's not funny anymore. Yeah, and I didn't watch any of the Jackass sequel movies. I just watched that very first one, and it was hilarious. But I've never been a big fan of that show because it's kind of gross. But yeah, I can't lie, when when I watched it, I was hurting. I was laughing so hard. Pretty dang funny, I won't lie. Going up. Oh, yeah, I like the Cable Guy. I think Cable Guy's pretty underrated. Because Cable Guy's is a bit of a dark comedy. It's a bit of a dark comedy. And when that film came out, a lot of people were put off by it. Because, he's playing a genuinely crazy guy who's not really all that sympathetic. Like, even the ending is kind of dark, but I like it. I think it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Okay, so we're gonna go. We gotta backtrack to one place. I like the Cable Guy. Cable's a funny movie. Oh, what am I doing? It's right there. I'll tell you another comedy that I want to rewatch it so I know exactly how I'd score it, but one of the best comedies I've ever watched is A Fish Called Wanda, with Kevin Kline, Jamie Lee Curtis, John Cleese. Fish Called Wanda, dude. That movie is a freaking riot. Yeah, The Mask. The Mask is great. Three Amigos. That is an all-time comedy classic. I love the Three Amigos. That's another one that's one I definitely recommend to people. It's awesome. Beetlejuice obviously is one of my favorite comedies. Granted, Beetlejuice is not necessarily meant to be one of those constant laugh out loud sort of comedies, but it's a great movie. It's a horror comedy, but it is hilarious. Heck, Forrest Gump, which we're covering tonight, has some pretty funny moments too. Bruce Almighty, I would call that I wouldn't go so far as to call that a great comedy, but it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. I've never quite leaned towards that being great, but it's pretty dang good. Like, to me, the best Jim Carrey comedy is probably Liar Liar. I think Jim Carrey's funniest movie is Liar Liar. I freaking love Liar Liar. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, those are great. I love those. Happy Gilmore I especially love. Anchorman, yeah, Anchorman's freaking hilarious. I'm not even a big Will Ferrell fan, but I do love Anchorman. Anchorman's hilarious. Yeah, Liar Liar is just hysterical. I mean, yeah, the main concept is like, I couldn't even begin to tell someone how the heck that works. But they're consistent with it for the most part, so it's like, it's pretty freaking hilarious. It's pretty freaking hilarious. I mean, look, I understand if you like Pet Detective more. Pet Detective's great, but for me, I enjoy Liar Liar the most. And Liar Liar absolutely kills me.
Currently lacking resources to decipher this xenoglyph.
It's like, son, do you remember when mommy was pregnant? Or, son, no, he's like, son, remember mommy was pregnant with you? I used to tell her, honey, you're beautiful. You look like $1,000,000. You're glowing. If I had told her she looked like a cow, that would have hurt her feelings. My teacher says real beauty's on the inside. That's just something ugly people say.
Is this translating correctly?
That's so funny.
Agony.
I haven't seen Evan Almighty. Evan Almighty I have not watched either. I've seen clips of it. It definitely does not look anywhere near as funny. Alright, so this is our little travel this way, this place to that. Yeah. We don't need this right now. We want to get the sword.
Detecting a strange energy reading. Setting a marker on my map.
Gotta get us a sword. first we gotta kill some creatures. Me, Myself, and Irene. You know what's funny is I've never actually watched that. I've actually never seen Me, Myself, and Irene. I have no idea how good or bad it is. It's too bad Sandler and Jim never did a movie together. Yeah, it is. I'm actually a little surprised they never went. They never did anything together. At least not that I can think of. They're both pretty freaking hilarious. Alright, took care of those. Now we can start boosting our health. Looks like there's some health around here. Can't get up there. Can't quite get there. Get off our area. The Other Guys is pretty funny. I think The Other Guys falls short of being a great comedy, which sucks because I think Will Ferrell is maybe at his absolute funniest in that film. Like, I really think he's hilarious in that. But the movie itself is just okay, but the laughs are really good. That's an awesome one. I love Me, Myself, and Irene. You should watch. Yeah, I'll check it out. I always forget about that movie, but yeah, I've never actually sat down and watched it. I think it's because when it came out, you know, like Jim Carrey was mostly doing like the PG-13 comedies, and it was okay if I watched those. But Me, Myself, and Irene is that's an R-rated comedy, so I was not allowed to see that back when it came out. And Justice for All, I have not seen that. Have I seen Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events? Yes, and I really like that movie a lot. I find that movie highly underrated, and it has one of my absolute favorite musical scores ever. I think the musical score by Thomas Newman is just brilliant. I think it's a great score to fall asleep to. It's very relaxing. It's very imaginative. I love the music for that film so much. But yes, I am a big defender of Lemony Snicket. I think that's a really good movie. I think that movie fits in well with stuff like Addams Family and Addams Family Values, those films. Yeah. I haven't watched the show, but I love the film. And I love the books. I have read all the books a couple of times. I like those a lot. Alright, we got a Spitball Blaster, and oh my gosh, we got company. And we got him. And everything's opening up for me. And now we got our parasites.
Seems docile.
It did. Uh-oh.
It is parasitically attached to my arm. Does not appear hostile. Somehow, it's strengthening and weakening my suit.
That'd be pretty freaky. I haven't seen the... You haven't seen The Nice Guys? Oh, dude, The Nice Guys is great. You've got to see The Nice Guys. That movie's awesome. That's a great movie. The Nice Guys might actually be the last, at least for now, it might be the last like great Russell Crowe movie. Yeah, him and Gosling are fantastic. Gosh, I'd love for that movie to get a sequel. That's a movie that you could do a sequel to, and it would be great. Nice Guys was freaking hilarious. One of the, probably the best modern buddy cop film after Hot Fuzz. Oh, crap. Gotcha. Same thing, it looks like. I'll have to look at the details on that one. Let's look at the specs, see what other little abilities that gun offers. Alright, I did take a hit, unfortunately, but that's fine. It's fine. Okay, so one is Shock Stream. Let's see what... Crazy Stupid Love is also quite good. Yeah, I liked Crazy Stupid Love. That one was alright. That's good. It was decent. Alright, got that one. Nailed it. I'll tell you another thing I love about this game is the freaking sound design is just top freaking tier. It's so good. Oh no! And your turn. And one comedy that we'll be covering, I think, next week is Mystery Men, which is awesome. I love Mystery Men. It's a very offbeat and strange comedy, but it's dang good. There's a movie called Roller Town that used to be on Netflix, but now it's just free on YouTube. That movie cracks me up. I'll have to check that out. Roller Town. I'll try to remember that. I've seen Tower Heist. I have not seen Tower Heist. I am aware of it, but I have never watched it. Is it any good? And why my sister liked Crazy Stupid Love, I thought the entire plot and motivation of the characters was stupid. That's just because you hate women. Alright, going down to this little mystery room. These are always iffy. Alright, got a little tropian key. Sometimes going down to those rooms can be a bad thing. They're random, and you can run into some pretty nasty bosses down there, but well, let's take the risk. Why not? Alright, now we got that thing. Did you know that I knew you knew? I know you know. Yeah. Oh, I know that. And I knew you know I know you knew. But I didn't. I only knew that you'd know that I knew. Did you know that? Of course. Great. Okay, let's see. We've got the Malignant Sylvium. Just sent to you on Twitter. Oh, thank you. Eddie Murphy was hilarious in Tower Heist. Yeah, that's him. I know Ben Stiller's in that one. I'm trying to remember who else is in that movie. Oh, we got another one. What am I doing? Ow! Oh my gosh! It's fine. Ooh, we got carbine. Nice. I am down for that. Or I can do a +3 handgun. I don't like the handgun that much. Casey Affleck is also kind of... I didn't realize Casey Affleck was in that. Ooh, level 4 Spitmaw. Hard to turn that down. That is the higher level. I'm going to have to go with that. Let's see how it shoots. Alright, seems to shoot well enough. I still would prefer a different weapon. Hopefully I can find a higher level of the carbine. But yeah. I also love the part in Mystery Men where she's talking about her father. And he's like, oh, don't tell me you're the bowler's daughter. It's like, yeah, I seem to remember there being some controversy surrounding his death. And she's like, yes, they The police said it was an accident. He had come home late one night and fell down an elevator shaft onto some bullets. You know, I always suspected a bit of foul play there. I love that movie. It's so quotable. I almost named my band Casanova Frankenstein. Dude, it would have been perfect. It's the greatest, it's the best supervillain name ever. And I will hear no arguments to the contrary. It is the best supervillain name. Casanova Frankenstein. There's just, you can't top that. You can't. It's literally impossible. It can't be done. Casanova Frankenstein. And his, like the only, I guess, thing that left me wanting more about that movie, I wish there had been more scenes between Jeffrey Rush and Greg Kinnear, because their chemistry on screen is really good. The scene that they have together is so freaking funny. And I was like, more, please. They're so good. Oh yeah, I've seen In Living Color a ton. Yes, and I agree. Overall, it's a better show than SNL. Like, SNL back in the 90s, when they had, like, Sandler and Mike Myers and Dana Carvey and all of them, SNL was pretty awesome. But, In Living Color was good pretty much throughout. So yeah, top to bottom, it's the funnier variety show. If you wanna laugh out loud comedy show, watch Fawlty Towers or The IT Crowd. They're short, not a lot of episodes, but holy crap, those are funny. Fawlty Towers has possibly the funniest moment in sitcom history.
The past, or a visual archive of sorts.
I will take a level 3 carbine.
They built protection. This must have occurred centuries ago.
Yeah. Got these little alien monuments and whatnot. Reminds me of the scene in a Loaded Weapon when Sam Jackson said, "This may look like a suicide, but my gut tells me there's something else going on here." I need to rewatch Loaded Weapon. I haven't seen Loaded Weapon in years. Like, my sister had me watch that because she loved it. And I really wasn't into spoof comedies back then, so I didn't really appreciate what they were doing with it at the time. But it's one of those things in hindsight, like, I've watched scenes from it again, I'm like, this is actually pretty dang funny. I need to rewatch it. I wasn't used to movies like that. I had never seen, like, Airplane or anything like that before, which, speaking of gourd tier comedy, Airplane is freaking amazing. That film is hysterical. I love Airplane. Airplane is a top tier comedy. Absolutely. I don't need to destroy those statues, but I like doing it, so that's why I'm doing it. If it's a mystery to anyone. Alright, so... Oh! We got this door we can go through. Sometimes there is currency in these statues, so it's not completely pointless, but I like doing it because it's satisfying. Probably should get the health before I go down there. Oh my gosh! I didn't realize that thing was up there. No! Leave me alone! Oh crap. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't see it. It's one of those eye thingies. I should have been looking for the spotlights. That would have told me everything I needed to know. Going down. Ow! Alright. Spage ball? I know you mean space balls, but I don't care. That's a funny typo. Spage ball? Spage balls? I'm calling it Spage Balls from now on. Yes, I like Spaceballs. And I like Blazing Saddles too. Frickin' Blazing Saddles is amazing. Blazing Saddles is like one of the funniest movies ever made. And we're going up. Alright, let's kill these things. Oh my gosh. Men in Tights. Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights is pretty dang good too. That's a good one. Okay, let's reset the adrenaline levels. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights is awesome. Women, manly men, women in tights. I hate going up against this thing without the sword. That sucks. Can't kill it. Uh-oh, it's the house.
That can't be here. I think I am reliving my memories in that house, but not fully. They're corroded. Some parts are missing, others seem manufactured. But I can remember the torment, feeling like I was losing my mind.
Looks like I picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue.
There's no comfort here. No safe space. And the astronaut keeps following me.
South Park, bigger, longer, uncut, is funniest movie ever. I mean, it's not my pick for funniest comedy ever, but even me, who's not a huge South Park fan, finds that movie pretty dang hilarious. But I actually think Team America, which is obviously made by the same guys, I think Team America's funnier. Team America is... oh my gosh. That movie's great. I'm Rory. I'm so Rory. Yeah, South Park's pretty dang good. It's a pretty funny movie. Yeah, Team America's freaking brilliant. I mean, for crying out loud, it's become even more relevant because people are now calling... I mean, we refer to them as the Film Actors Guild all the time. I know Israel said that. I freaking said it, man. What you listening? You're insane, dude. Team America's freaking awesome. That might be the worst take you've ever had, and you've had a lot of bad ones, so how dare you. Shun the non-believer! Shun! Right. I want the sword. Give me the bloody sword. The keys. Alright, let's blue, 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 blue. What's this? It's more resin. What's this? Another parasite. Survive a killing blow, detaches afterwards, greatly reduces after detach. No. Well, actually... that's actually a good one, to be honest. That's actually a good one, now that I think about it. Because the alternative to not being killed by a killing blow is that your max integrity is still going to be reduced because you're dead and you get reset. So that's a better alternative, actually. Squash. Let's break them all. And this one, earns salvage from the next 3 kills, detaches afterwards, triggers a critical malfunction on detach. That could be anything, so nah. That could be a bad one, so we won't do that. There are good parasites that are worth it, and there are bad ones that are not worth it. Maybe I should have discussed it on the sports movie thing. Possibly. I haven't seen Basketball. I've never watched it. If enough of us had seen it, like if 3 of y'all had seen it, I might have added that to just my own personal homework, but... alright, you have a good one, Sammy. Thanks for coming by. Alright, this is one of those... Actually, this is the room, I think, to the boss, so we won't go there yet. Because I do want to get the house key and go in. We can't walk on that stuff yet. We can, however, go here. I'll tell you an underrated comedy that I like is, I really like the movie Be Kind, Rewind. It's a weird, quirky comedy, but I liked it. That was pretty good. Oh no, I fell. Didn't realize there was a cliff's edge there. That sucked. What the heck? Oh, these little ones here. Oh, good. Got some health. That's good. Got some more health here. Also good. Oh, I just thought of another one. And you know what? Say what you will about Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is, you know, he's a piece of garbage and he's a crybaby, but Clerks is pretty hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. The original Clerks is really freaking funny. Alright, did that. And now we can go through here. There's a lot of these little floopsy little pods here. Break them. Break them all! Because there's sometimes stuff in them. Come on, give me some stuff already. Where's the stuff? Jay and Silent Bob was fun. I actually haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob, but I have heard I've heard good things about it, so I'll have to check that one out. So obviously they're characters in Clerks. So yeah, but I've heard good things about it. I got to Clerks like really, really late, so just Kevin Smith in general, I just haven't engaged with this stuff very much. But yeah, Clerks was a riot. I've seen Clerks 2 mostly. Kevin Smith is a... Like, I don't know if jerk's the right word. It's more he's a massive puss. Like, he's become a huge crybaby wokester. And when I say crybaby, I mean I mean like genuinely like no joke, he took a selfie of himself during a screening of Black Panther crying. And I'm like, dude, that is cringe. But he's the one who did the Netflix version of He-Man, which, granted, I'm not a big He-Man person. I don't care that much about He-Man, but I know for fans of it, they were pretty pissed off about everything he changed about it. Yeah, because he basically it was a bait and switch. You know, he turned He-Man into the show about the chick, so that pissed a lot of people off, rightfully so. And then he cried about it when people hated it. He was like, no, I don't like my show. It's not fair. It's like, shut up, Meg. Yeah, he went from being this guy who did edgy humor to one of the passive maggots. Alright, they have put me in lockdown, so I gotta fight this big old chunk of here. Come on, get up. Oof. Oh no, there's a lot of things now. Yeah, he is uber. He became like uber cringe, dude. Just gotta keep moving. These areas are fun, but a little bit stressful because they're tough. Ooh, I was kind of fortunate there. Yeah. Suck it, nerd! Get all that stuff. I'm good with the weapon I got. Now all that stuff reopens to me. Got little glyphs. Got that. Let's look around. Those upgrade your weapon levels. Those are good. And I think that's some resin. I've got 4 of those now, which will hang on to that for the time being. Don't want to use up my resin too much. Granted, it's not hard to find resin, but it's valuable. It's a valuable commodity. And what we got in here? Not quite ready to translate that just yet, but is it the sword? That's a house key. Next best thing.
How could this be here?
It's the key to Davy Jones's locker. Do we consider the Pirates of the Caribbean movies comedies? I mean, they're adventure movies, but I mean, I probably wouldn't. They're kind of in that same vein as like The Mummy. Like, they're funny, but they're not really comedies, so they have comedy in them. This room, I think, is a challenging room. No, okay, no, this isn't a challenge room. This is how I get to the next stage, actually.
More complex in construction.
But, is this the blade? Is this the blade? It's the blade! Yeah.
Potential tool?
Your father's lightsaber.
Safe to repurpose.
Hehe.
Xenotype blade weapon.
It's neat. Yeah, and I would say I probably agree with that, Jalen. It is more of a adventure. It's funny, but not really a comedy. At least not a pure comedy. Alright, now I've got the blade. Okay, so I want to make our way back because we want to go into the house. We want to go into the house. And not too long after that, we could probably go to the boss. Alright, so let's get in here. And there's the house. We can also go and collect a lot of this stuff, upgrade our health. It's like call the back to, yeah, it would be, yeah, I agree. It'd be like calling Back to the Future comedy when they're not really comedies. They're more, you know, sci-fi, adventure. Pirates is more adventure, action adventure. Apparently he went through some pretty horrible stuff in his childhood, though, so he says, I mean, okay, that's sad, but it's not an excuse. Everyone's had some rough childhoods. A lot of people have had bad childhoods that still turn into crappy people.
Exactly as I left it. But impossible. I logged my first missions in this binder, but this is stored in the mothership's archives.
Back to this game, everybody. Yes, I am, Cannoli, and welcome. And I'm really looking forward to actually finishing this game on stream instead of getting like halfway through it like the last time.
After I left.
It probably won't even take as many streams just because I know the game well now. And it's crazy is now that I actually know a lot about like the plot and stuff, a lot of this stuff I understand the meaning of. It's pretty cool. Abdication of Zeus, Principles of Astrodynamics, Impractical Mechanics, Mystery of the Cosmos. Cannoli, have you all arrived in Vegas yet?
It should never be over.
Oh. I think pulled away from me. It's wild. Moons of the Milky Way, An Observer's Guide to Astronomy. Not yet, leaving at 5 p.m. my time. Which, oh, okay, cool. So,
Hello?
4 hours and 20 minutes to...
Who is up there?
Wow, that long. Is it that far? Wow. Got this kind of wild picture. So that means you'll be flying while we're streaming about Forrest Gump.
I can't.
What is this?
Such strange markings. Where did this...
You know how much I love Forrest Gump? Yeah. Is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang considered a comedy? I mean, it's a comedy in the same vein as The Nice Guys. And I'll be honest, I probably lean towards The Nice Guys being my favorite of the two, because they are directed and written by the same guy. But Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is really freaking funny. Man, we can't go in there yet, so we'll just look. Get a little peek out the window. There's that bloody astronaut just standing there creepily. Nice Guys is so underrated. Yeah, Nice Guys is great. I actually would like a sequel to that movie. It's one of the few movies to where if they said we're doing a sequel, I'd be like, good. That's a good thing. That'd make me happy.
What is this meant to tell me? Am I supposed to remember this?
And we got a little astronaut doll here. Which, it's interesting, this thing brings you back to life. That's actually pretty interesting, now that I think about it. Okay. Now, let's go through here, because now that we have the blade, we can open some of this stuff up that we previously could not. And we can beef ourselves up for the boss fight. That's good. Alright, so that fills my health. and subsequent health packs will get me stronger. I think this one, those are down there. It's not really good. I didn't even see that. What is down here? Look at that. Nice. It's currency, baby. Yeah. I'll take it. Got us a nice little collection of monies. I didn't think a Fletch stream would go 3 hours with him. Yeah, what's funny is we've kind of been continuing part of the discussion that ended that show. We've all been talking about like favorite comedies and stuff. But yeah, it was like I didn't like I kept your stream on the whole time. I listened to like maybe the first 40 minutes and then like the last 40 minutes because I was watching the Yukon game. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Fletch is a pretty hilarious movie, and yeah, it going 3 hours is kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But I think that's what happens when you've got genuine fans, or, you know, when you have good discussion. Good discussions can go on for a long time. I mean, y'all went on long enough to where you all got to bring Vex onto it off of the stream she was doing. So she, I watched a bit of the stream she was on Midnight's Edge last night, which that was really cool. Vex just making the rounds to all the cool places. Yeah, I got deep in Well, Fletch is obviously a very deep film. My themes are very deep in that, obviously. Exactly. No one can resist the cannoli. Alright, we killed all those fools. Well, maybe not all of them. There's that one! Kill it! Kill it! Run, Pumbaa. You still have to play this dang game. Yes, you do. And report back your findings. It's wonderful. I love it. Alright, what's in here? Moderate. I think I'm okay with the gun I have, but I can cleanse with the ether. What the heck, I'll try it. A translocation spear. I don't want to go to any translocations. Poke your eye out. That's interesting. I don't see the thing. Oh, okay, wait, it's actually probably in here. Oh, the anathema key. I need the key to this place. Oh. That's yeah, I didn't even realize that was the name, the anathema key. That's interesting. Let him be anathema. Anathema is what Roman Catholics consider me. Let's see here. Blow them up. And here's the anathema key right there. I got it. Oh crap. It's freaking bats. neat. Alright, got those. And let's see, where else can we go before the boss fight? What's this? Oh yeah, that's where we'll head after the boss fight, assuming we win. It's not necessarily easy. The boss is actually pretty tough. Oh right, there's this room. Actually, no, that's the beginning, so that's actually the DLC, which we can't get to yet. What is the DLC? That might be something we can access over here. So let's go over here real quick. Make sure, yeah. Alright. See if we can use our sword in hither. Yes, we can. There we go. Let's use it. What the heck? Perfect. Alright, so we can spend 200 on this. So change that. We can buy both of them actually. Let's increase our protection. I just used the translocation sphere if you're wondering how in the world I got here. And this is increasing our proficiency rate, which I believe means this will help us to upgrade our weapons faster. And we're good. Let's bugger off over to here. Use that. I think we're in a pretty good place to fight the boss. I'm pretty comfy fighting the boss now. Let's see if we can take it out on the first try. This looks like the closest spot. At least one of the two. It's one or the other. Yep, just head on through here. Nice, got some resin. Didn't even know that was there. Nope, we're good on our weapon. And here we go. And shoot the spooky man. I could have teleported right there. What a bloody dunce. But I got the resin, so.
Is beyond this. It might be tied to White Shadow.
White Shadow. Can't wait for the next Romeo and Juliet movie. Gonna be a laugh, right? Yeah, really. Alright, don't need that sidearm. The one I've got is better. Alright, let's take on the boss. Ow. Oh my gosh. Oh dear, that was close. a spooky fight. I like it. A little bit of bullet hell. I dig. I like these. Like I said, if you've played Resogun, it does inform the playthrough just a bit. And I love me some Resogun. I like this music too. It's pretty cool. Alright, that's one health bar down. I know this Cannoli is almost... He's even more excited than I am for Rebel Moon 2. So, we all know we can't wait for that, right? That's coming in a couple of weeks. Who's all ready to get their Rebel Moon on? Oh, and Israel, I didn't even show you this yet. Zack Snyder wants to do a director's cut of Sucker Punch. He's like, I've got all the footage. I'd love for them to let me cut it together. And I'm like, dude, nobody freaking cares about Sucker Punch. He's honestly like one of the most narcissistic directors I've ever seen, with no self-awareness. Almost got this health bar done. That's that one. Ah, he's not happy with me. Oof. I think I'm gonna get him in this fight. 'Cause I've got... It's gonna be a sequel to Rebel Moon. Yes, Scargiver. Rebel Moon 2 Scargiver. Doesn't that sound cool? I mean, come on, Israel. What could be cooler than Rebel Moon 2 Scargiver? Nothing, that's what. It's the new Star Wars for this generation, obviously. It's a cool fight. It's such a cool fight. I like it. Boss fights, there isn't really a bad boss fight in this game. They're all pretty neat. Another director's cut. Yeah, also, there is a director's cut of Rebel Moon that's like really freaking long, apparently. There's some are saying it's 4 hours, some are saying it's 6 hours.
And the energy signature is gone.
The boss has been defeated.
Acquired a new kind of unlocking mechanism. This could interface with a different kind of translocation device.
Alright, so let's see. Unfed pod at the cube. I can only carry one at a time. I have one, I think, already. I agree. He just stop. Zach, come on. Enough already. Alright, what is this I'm getting? Ooh, a shield disruptor. 25% chance to break shields. Neat. And I've got this one. You're done now. And this is Unfed pod. Grants 20% stagger power for each attached parasite. Ooh, neat. Well, I've got 2 or 3 of those on right now. So I got 2 of them. I know there's a trophy if you wear 5 at the same time, which I did get. This will actually remove my parasites, which Let's see. I get obolites in return. Yeah, let's go ahead and take them off. There are people out there who genuinely believe that Darkseid in the Zack Snyder Cut Justice League was amazing and antagonizing villain. He was literally the most PS1 villain. Israel, if you want to see, and Cannoli, I know I don't want to cause you any PTSD, but we all know how funny this is. If you want to see possibly the biggest Zack Snyder simp in existence, at least in this country, Cannoli did a stream on it was Batman v Superman, I believe it was. Little Platoon was there, Vex Electronica, several other people. It was on Cannoli's channel. And it was featuring a fellow called B.A. Turner. And let's just say that discussion devolved because B.A. could not take criticism on Zack. Like, he could not handle Zack Snyder being criticized at all. Lots of appeals to the lore, the old, well, if you read the comics, that kind of stuff. You really could not reason with this guy at all. It was pretty dang funny. It was funny. And it gets referenced a lot. It gets referenced a lot in our various, amongst our peoples. It's pretty funny. I wonder if the reason he called it Rebel Moon was him mooning everybody. I don't think so. But no, this was a little, I was kind of just starting to get to know everyone. If you're wanting a timeline on when this happened, Israel, I was kind of only just starting to get to know some of the people that you have in this chat. I had never appeared on Cannoli's channel. I was obviously aware of who he was. I think he was at that point somewhat aware of who I was. I don't remember if it was before or after he had told me that eventually he would bring me on. It was somewhere near there. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty dang funny. I think that was the first stream of Cannoli's I ever watched. I think that was the very first one I ever watched. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is... Like, I was in the comments, I had a bit of a Twitter spat with BA in the day after because, like, they tried to end it very good faith. Like, they tried to end it on very good faith as much as they could, but BA would not stop. He would not let it go. And now he's basically just a community meme. Oh, there's lots of people like that, Israel. There's a lot of people who say that kind of stuff. Like, Zack Snyder has a pretty high number of simps, but we know of what we consider his main spokesperson. Whether he likes it or not.
Beginning ascent of the mountain. I don't know which attempt this is. Despite knowing the hazards ahead, I'm having difficulty retrieving the technology. There are certain obstacles I don't look forward to re-experiencing. But I feel as though something at the top is summoning me.
Did you meet... did I meet you on a Cannoli stream? I don't know. I don't think so. At least that's not how I became acquainted with your channel. I know that much. I saw you. I think I saw you in the chat, and eventually I came across B.A. Turner. Like I said, you literally could just go to Cannoli's channel and look up his Batman. I think it's the Batman v Superman stream. You could just look at that. But oh, dude, it's hilarious. But yeah, Jacob, I think I saw you like in various chats. It might have been in Cannoli's chat, and I eventually went to your channel and checked it out. And I think I just got into your chat and started talking to y'all and yucking it up with y'all. It might have been one of the monster movie streams, because I know I want to say one of the earliest streams I ever joined the chat in was it might have been like The Mummy, like the old one, and I was just making a bunch of jokes with y'all. And I don't know if that was the first one, but I want to say that was one of the earliest ones. But obviously we met through our various mutuals, of course. I thought you all met through Von Allen. Nope. I obviously met you in Israel through Von Allen Sports, but no, I met well, now I'll say this. My approach after I started my channel, knowing everyone in Von Allen Sports kind of gave me the idea to start frequenting other streams and try to get to know people. I know the first person's stream that I started to get to know people in the chat was Magitech Mags. And I think I met Copa there, and maybe a couple of other people. Mate Cannoli might have been in there. I'm not positive, but Copa's the one I remember the most from that stream. And then it just kind of, built and built. Like, I think I saw Copa on one stream. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that guy. And yeah, I just more and more started to meet people. So yeah, funny little world, ain't it? But yeah, if you want to build a YouTube channel, networking, I think, is key. Networking can take you a long way. Because aside from the fact that you get to do live shows with people, if you're in a really cool, supportive community of fellow creators, like I'm blessed to be a part of, then, yeah, you get people who check out your stuff. They give you that initial boost when you put out a new piece of content, and the algorithm likes that. So that's always good, so, yeah. And it also helps when the people are awesome. Jacob's he's a pretty questionable guy, but everyone else. Where is this yellow thing? I think the stream I met Cannoli on, though, was B-Sup, which is Movie Cynic, and or not met, at least where I first saw him. Like it was Movie Cynic, Platoon, Vex, actually Andrew, and Cannoli was on there that day, and so yeah, I started following them, and then I eventually started to see exactly, Jacob, you have to be wary of the meme master, exactly. But yeah, that's where I started to find them and started to follow their stuff, and I saw Cannoli obviously does his MMM streams, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I'll have to check that out. And that was the first one I watched. I think I have a pretty good idea of how bad the Snyder cultists are. I'm pretty sure I know. I'm pretty plugged into the whole thing. I see them on Twitter quite often, and I don't look for them. They're just there.
Something has infected one of my scout corpses.
These are fun. These little fights here, of course. Because you shoot them, and they automatically shoot back. Which I actually think this is a neat mechanic, that every time you shoot that suit, it automatically will fire back. which I think is interesting because you're shooting at a version of yourself, so it's almost like it's indicating self-harm or something. I was like, that's an interesting little detail. I'm gonna make sure I get those. Most times I see them on social media against my will. Yep. Pretty much. I don't ask to see them, they just they show themselves. Like, once Zack Snyder's talking about putting out a new thing, they're like, oh, Snyder Bros unite, or you'll just see another Restore the Snyderverse thing start trending, and I'm like, guys, y'all really gotta let this go. It's dead. It's dead, and it's a good thing. So please stop. The Snyderverse was awful. It was bloody trash. But anywho. Oh no, it's the little boxy heads. Yeah, Jalen, most of the people that you see around here, or in my live stream chats, they don't know Aaron. It's part of the reason why I was hoping to have him on the sports channel, because I was like, oh yeah, he can plug into a new community too. Not that he needs it that much. I mean, he's obviously he's got a pretty decent sized channel, but still, pretty cool. But obviously, you know, he had a bad thing happen. Though he seems to be doing okay now. I've interacted with him a couple of times on Twitter since that show and seen him around, so I think they're doing all right. That's good. Okay, we cannot go through there yet. I mean, we can, but we'll die. So we're not doing that yet. Oh, that sports movie stream was actually pretty fun. I know a lot of people in the group were like, "Oh, I can't believe Karate Kid won when why did this not win?" And I'm like, "That's just not how it happened, dude. I'm sorry. It's just how it happened." All right, let's head back here. No, they're not wrong. Karate Kid didn't deserve it, but such is life. I mean, yeah, it's not my number one choice, obviously, but Karate Kid is one of my it's one of my favorite sports movies. So I was fine with the fact that it won because it is amongst my favorites. It's in my top 5 sports movies. But yeah, if it had been my individual choice, I would have picked Ford v Ferrari as my number 1, with Cinderella Man behind it, then Miracle. Oh no. This guy.
Shell seems highly durable.
I think it's possibly his best performance. I love that performance, so I think he's absolutely brilliant in Ford v Ferrari. I really do. I was really, that was a performance that I knew when I saw it, that as much as I loved it, I was concerned it would not get the recognition I thought it deserved. But he did at least get nominated for Best Actor, so that was good. Well, that's why we're glad it wasn't up to you. Because that movie's crap. It's enjoyable crap, but still crap.
Considerable defense, but dispatched.
That's her flex. Considerable defense, but dispatched. I'm not sure what Cannoli or Lance's favorite sports movie was, though. That's one thing I'm curious. I don't remember. Well, I think they said. I don't remember off the top of my head what they said was their favorite. Oh, wait. Lance, actually, no, I do remember his now. He said his favorite was, I think, Hoosiers. Which, Hoosiers is pretty dang good. I like Hoosiers. Not my favorite, but very good. There's a glyph. Easy glyph. I want to say Cannolis is maybe Rocky or... I think it's Rocky. Which is another great choice. Rocky's awesome. But yes, my own top choice is Ford v Ferrari. I love that movie. Rudy is the most overrated. It might be. That might not be wrong. Rudy is pretty overrated. Like, I liked it a lot the first time I watched it, but it loses a lot after subsequent views. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, Israel, if you want to watch it, I mean, there's ways to watch it without a disc, but or Netflix. I mean, there's ways. But I think preferably you have a copy of it yourself. It would be cool to have a physical copy of that. I too would like it. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that we'll eventually get one, because I know a lot of Netflix movies eventually do get physical releases. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just saying, if you're itching to watch it again, you don't have to have it on physical media to do so. But yeah, I too would like a physical copy of it, because I quite like The Killer. Unlike some of my friends who thought it was pretty slow, they didn't care for it, but I'm like, I think it's really good. We might have to do a video which defends that film against its naysayers. Have I seen The Dynasty yet? Yes, I've watched it. Watched the whole thing. I would say it's interesting, but it's not super info. I don't have Apple TV either, but I don't need it. That site I gave you, has it. Just saying. The site I gave you for the sports movies, The Dynasty's on there. That's where I watched it. I ain't paying for no Apple TV. Apple TV sounds too close to Apple Teeny, and that's like the gayest word in the dictionary. Yeah, like that. My biggest beef with The Dynasty is, for one thing, it told me a ton of stuff I already knew. So, I would say like 80% of that show I was well aware of. It does, I mean, granted, this is more Bill Belichick's fault, not the show, but Belichick still does not offer any explanation as to why he sat Malcolm Butler. And I think when they start discussing Deflategate, they did Brady pretty dirty on that one. Because they are, like, they treat the evidence that refutes Deflategate like conspiracy theory stuff. Like, when they start talking about Deflategate, they act like science is a conspiracy theory. And I'm like, are you all serious right now? You're not going to cover any of the evidence that shows that it's actually more likely that it didn't even freaking happen? They also treated Spygate... Yeah, well, I think they did better with Spygate, because they at least had a good number of people that called Spygate, well, Well, no, actually, no, I take that back. I'm thinking more of Deflategate. Like, the one decent thing they did with Deflategate, I guess, is that they were like... I don't like the fact that they acted like he absolutely did it. But at the same time, they were like, it really wasn't a big deal even if he did. And I'm like... So they at least have the awareness to say, you know, it should never have been a big deal. But I'm like, yeah, it never should have been a big deal, but also it probably didn't happen. It's like, I don't think the evidence supports that it happened at all. So yeah, I think the overall series is interesting. It's worth watching, but it's not like The Last Dance, because like The Last Dance is worth watching more than once. Like I'll definitely rewatch The Last Dance again, and I've already seen it twice. Last Dance is a fantastic documentary series. I don't think I'm likely to ever rewatch The Dynasty again. I don't see myself going through that one again. I honestly don't know, Jalen. It might be you having... I don't know if you have a PC or what. My Mac does not do that when I get on that site. If you listen to Darrell Revis, he said Tom was crying around his teammates, saying he didn't do it. I'll take their word over the me. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, it's because he was obviously... He was pretty upset with the fact that, you know, people were questioning his character over this. You know, the other, I guess semi-decent thing they do in the way they cover Deflategate is they do at least point out that other quarterbacks, yeah, you have a PC, that's probably why. I guess it's probably a combination of me having good ad block software and like spyware blocks and virus detecting and virus blocks, all that stuff. I have all that comes pre-installed, and I don't get pop-ups on that site, so yeah. But yeah, they do at least bring up the fact that other quarterbacks have done far more to doctor up their footballs, and they're like, this really, like, even if he did it, it wasn't a big deal. And I'm like, look, I agree that if he had done it, it still wouldn't be a big deal. But the thing is, I don't even think the evidence supports that he did it in the first place. And here's the other thing, truth be told, one of the main reasons I don't buy into it is the fact that I think if Brady were doing it, I think he probably would have been like, well, yeah, I mean, but every quarterback does this kind of thing. What are y'all talking about? I think if he had done that kind of stuff, I think that's what he would have said. It was like, well, yeah, I asked him to underinflate it a little bit, but what's the difference between me doing that and this quarterback doing this or that quarterback doing that? I think he would have just come out and said that. Like, what's the big deal? Because, I mean, if you remember, Aaron Rodgers' response was Aaron Rodgers saw it as so little of a deal that he was like, well, yeah, I like mine overinflated. He just flat out said it. Because he was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I overinflate mine. And everyone's like, oh, okay. And no one said a freaking word. It's insane. No one said a freaking word about it. Out of all the stories about the Patriots, I think Tom Brady was the most well-rounded and told the story the most from other players' perspectives. Are you just talking about the Dynasty series overall? I mean, yeah, he's the one I generally like to listen to the most. Alright, uh-oh. Yes, they did. And it wasn't a big deal. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Tom versus Time? Yeah, the Tom versus Time documentary I actually thought was pretty interesting. I liked that one more.
I barely managed to dispatch the sentients that attacked me.
I liked that one more.
Never encountered such hostility.
Well, that one was pretty interesting.
But that writing, it spoke of these severed brethren. I don't know enough to understand yet, but what conceivable force could have caused any intelligent life to become like this?
I mean, I don't think his series is anywhere near as good as The Last Dance, but I'm being objective. Oh, I'm not even just being objective. I mean, I can be subjective and say it's better. Did you like Man in the Arena? Yeah, Man in the Arena was good. I liked Man in the Arena. It was pretty good. I'd forgotten about that one, funny enough, but yeah, that one's actually pretty good. Oh, I don't have any keys. Oh no. That's fine. It's funny how on this first playthrough, well, like part 1 on this, as opposed to my part 1 the last time I played this game, I didn't get anywhere near this far. Gotcha. I'm keeping this because it's a better gun. This gun's better. We're gonna fight some fools here. Uh-oh. I don't know. I know obviously other Bulls players said he had a ton, but
A living sentient.
I honestly don't know. I'll say this much. The only people I ever see really complain about the Last Dance documentary, you know, aside from the people who already hate Michael Jordan, are Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen, who, sorry, they deserve the criticism they got. I'm kind of amazed at some of their, personal outrage, because I'm like, guys, why are you acting like this stuff wasn't true? We've all known this stuff for a long freaking time.
I dispatched the sentient.
I mean, Horace Grant's ones I thought was especially petty, because I was like, Horace Grant was mad that Jordan basically believed what a lot of other people believed, which is that, you know, he talked about stuff going on with a team, and the evidence was actually pretty good that he did. And Jordan's not even the only person on the team that believed it, so I'm like, dude, he's not the only one who thinks this. A lot of people think it. So I'm like, you're mad at Jordan. It's like, why aren't you mad at everyone else? And Jordan doesn't seem all that bothered that you did it anymore. I mean, he was like, look, I don't think you should have done it, but whatever. You know, he didn't seem bitter about it. Pippen, on the other hand, I think, gosh, Pippen is a low character person. I don't particularly care for him. He has said and done some things since then and before that that are pathetic, to be honest. They're pretty pathetic. My opinion on him has changed a lot. Not even really, the documentary didn't change much of what I thought of him at all. I knew a lot of that stuff, and I was like, yeah, I didn't like that, but overall I still like the guy. I loved watching him as a player, all that stuff. But it was a lot of the stuff after that I was like, ooh, this guy is kind of a piece of garbage. He's kind of a garbage person. I respected Scotty's decision not to re-enter the game, because he said I could make a choice I wouldn't. Well, I don't respect him for that at all. Because I don't think he did it out of conviction. I think he did it because he's selfish. I don't think him being mad about not getting the last shot had anything to do with conviction so much as him just being selfish. And I think the evidence of his career and since then kind of shows how selfish he is. So I would prefer you just admit you're wrong. But that's me on that. Because I don't think Scotty is a very principled person. I think Scotty's convictions just have to do with what's convenient for him. Especially after you find out that, that he let Jordan believe for years. He let Jordan believe for years that he didn't contact him after his father died because, you know, he was really busy. He just wasn't able to at the moment. He let Jordan believe that for years and then just flat out said, yeah, I didn't contact him because I didn't want to. And I'm like, wow, you're kind of a piece of garbage. I think Phil knew Scotty just fine. But I think that Phil was right to say, I don't care what you think. I'm doing what's best for us to win. Kukoc is a better clutch shooter than you, so I'm gonna have him shoot. Scotty, if you don't like it, screw off. And they won the game. So I am all on Phil's side for that one. And Scotty did not have a whole lot to do with that 6th ring anyway. That was more Jordan and Rodman than it was Pippen. Silver lattice data cube. Neat. But yeah, I am not particularly fond of Pippen. No, Kukoc didn't make shots. Those aren't luck. Those guys could shoot. That's stupid. That's not luck. Kukoc and Paxton were really good shooters. Alright, that's a decent weapon. I like it, but let's give it a shot. Let's shake it up a little bit. Because I do like this weapon. Hollow Seekers are pretty neat. Paxton said in the doc it was the luck in his... I don't think he said it, that his shot was luck. I don't recall him ever saying his shot was luck, because that wasn't a lucky shot. It wasn't a hard shot. He was wide open. That was a wide open shot. Paxton hitting a wide open 3. He did that kind of often. I don't think he would describe that as a lucky shot. And even if he did, it wasn't, because he made a bunch of those. Kukoc's, I guess you could say, was a tough shot, but it wasn't a lucky one. He was good at it. Guy was 6'11", he could freaking shoot. Let's see here. I think, yeah, I want to go down there. Yoosh. Skadoosh. But here's the thing, again, I already said, I don't care if he said it. I don't think he said it, but even if he said his 3-pointer in the finals was lucky, if that's the one you're referring to, he's not correct. I really don't care if he said he was. He wouldn't be correct. A wide open shot by Paxton is an easy shot for him. He hit a bunch of those. Yeah, that's true, he did, which that's a little weird, but it's still kind of funny, I guess. Kill. Oh, I thought I hit that one right. Oh my gosh, it's that guy. Let's kill that guy. Dang it, he moved. we go. Got him. Oh. Yeah. And oh no, there's more. Did I get hit? Oh shoot. Oh, whoa. Whoa! Oh, crap. This is a tough little room here. Ow. Ouch. Ah, crap. You got me, partner. Finally, I died, though. That's the first time I've died since the forced death. Dang it. I believe the game you're referring to where Scotty didn't want to come back in. I think that actually was a playoff game against the Knicks.
Can't hear me.
I'd have to check to be sure, but yeah, it was selfish. That's not true. At the time, they were friends. At least they were, like, Jordan was under the impression they were friends. Yeah, Scotty, I think it's a bit of a POS. Ooh, what's this? Oh yeah, neat. Water. What in the heck? Sorry, I'm just checking some. I've got a couple of messages. Do 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 do. I heard that, Israel. Yeah, the American Society for Magical Negroes lasted all of 3 weeks at the box office. You could basically rename it the American Society of Magical Three Grows, named after the number of weeks it lasted. It made $2.4 million on a $15 million budget. Ouch. Ouchie. Well, you tried. Now that thing lights up.
Discovered a strange device that is already active. It feels alive. I'm not receiving any information when scanning.
Oh my goodness. Oh no. This device unlocks new items for your use in exchange for ether. What's this? Dash blast. Dash generates an energy blast at its endpoint. Neat. Well, Romeo and Juliet's not a movie, it's a play.
The environment is changing.
And because it's a play, I doubt it will flop, because stage audiences tend to be very, very liberal. So if I had to guess, the Romeo and Juliet play will actually do pretty well. That's my guess. But that is not a theater thing. Yep, it's gonna be a play. Yeah, they've done Romeo and Juliet movies several times. There's a lot of Romeo and Juliet adaptations. I think there's at least 3 or 4 of them. And there's probably ones that were done overseas too, that, you know, may or may not share the same name, but are the same story. Yeah, there's several versions of Romeo and Juliet. Heck, West Side Story is Romeo and Juliet. So yeah, there's the DiCaprio version, there's the old 60s version, which I've seen both of those. Those are the 2 movies I've seen of it. But yeah, Romeo and Juliet's just one of those stories that's we'll see new versions of a lot. I never liked Romeo and Juliet. I hate the ending. I think I liked it as a teenager, and then I grew up and was like, okay, that's fine. I get it. It's one of those stories that I think appeals to teens because you think that the girl or boy you fall in love with when you're a youngster is the whole world. And that if they die, then I guess I got to also. And it's like, no, you need to get over it is what you need to do. Which, funny enough, I kind of think is part of the point. Is that I always hate Boomer. I don't know if I'd call that a Boomer ending. That story's a lot older than Boomers. It's a much older story than the Boomer generation. It's a freaking Shakespeare story. Shakespeare is not a Boomer. But Shakespeare but it is funny that that's like the bummer Bummer and Boomer. That's funny. I don't mind endings that are sad. I don't mind that at all. You can do a sad ending really well. I'm cool with that. But I don't dislike the ending to Romeo and Juliet. I think it's fine. It's just it's like one of those stories. It's like I liked it as when I was younger because I had a girlfriend and we talked about it a lot. I had a teenage high school girlfriend and we were around that age at the time, so it resonated with us or whatever. But you grow up and it's like, okay, it doesn't resonate the same way anymore. I think the main lesson to be drawn from Romeo and Juliet is that young people in love are pretty stupid. I think that's the main lesson. The DiCaprio version I'm more or less fine with. It's decent. That director I kind of wish would stop doing the same trope over and over again, which is taking old stories and making like hyper stylized versions of them, like because it's the same guy who did Gatsby, which is I think an awful movie. And I know a lot of people who think Gatsby's so good, and I'm like, Gatsby's terrible. The Robert Redford Great Gatsby is a good movie, but Gatsby is freaking awful. So yeah, I kind of wish that director would stop making movies like that. Though I want to say he did the Elvis movie, and I've actually heard that's pretty good. The one with Austin Butler. I think he did that, and I heard it was good. So, That one I will probably check out. I think that movie's trash. Gatsby sucked. I hated that movie. I had a friend of mine recommend it, and she was like, "Oh, I love this movie. You should check it out. I want to know what you think of it." And she let me borrow it, and I came back and watched it, and I was like, she's like, "Oh, did you watch it?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Wasn't it great?" I'm like, "No, it wasn't. It was crap. I hated it. Why did you make me watch this?" It's like, "Why did you do this?" Alright, let's head down here. Oof. Yeah, that's what I want. There's a Tachyo carbine. I'm gonna keep the Tachyomatic. Some resin. Booyah. Need some health. Get that. Ah, I see health. Not much. Well, I thought it was doo-doo. Great Gatsby DiCaprio version is not one I will ever watch again. I rather hated it. It's not a movie I ever plan on revisiting. Ow. I let myself get hit too much. And we got it. What's this? Oh, detaches all parasites. Okay. That's a way to do it. Gord, have you seen Gosford Park? Yes, I really like Gosford Park. Gosford Park's a good movie. It's been a little while since I watched it, but yeah, I've seen that. Seen it a couple times. I liked it. It's a good old-fashioned whodunit with a really good cast. Hey. I don't like bats. Especially in droves like this. Ow. Gasp.
Enough. I understand. I'm trapped. The broadcast signal. That's all that matters. Astra, Helios is gone. Celine heading out.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
I will be coming back.
Got a decent amount of ether. Attaches a random parasite and recycle it. Okie dokie. Nailed it. I'm actually going to have to close up shop here in about 10 minutes or so. Yow! Because I have a couple things I need to do before tonight's stream. But this has been a lot of fun. I love this game. So let's see how far we can get in the next few minutes. So we can be ready for tomorrow. Because I do plan on playing this again tomorrow. Full trailer for Joker 2 is tonight. Yeah, I heard about that. Cautious about it. Actually, I scratched that. I have to admit, I genuinely couldn't care less. I'll still watch it just because it's Joker. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I don't care. I am curious. But yeah, I'm not particularly optimistic about the idea of the film. I want it to be good. I really want it to be good. I want it to be great, but we'll see. I saw the little teaser they had for the trailer, which I think that is weird that you do a teaser for a trailer on the same day. I'm like, why don't you just put out a tweet, hey, new trailer's coming out at 9. It's like, alright, cool. But we'll see. Hopefully it's good. We will find out sooner or later. Well, it's kind of best not to look at... Well, the thing about the Joker movie is it's not really a Joker-Batman movie, if that makes sense. I mean, yes, the elements of Gotham and whatnot are a part of it, but it's not really connected to a Batman story. Like, you're not gonna see, I mean, at least as far as I know, they're not planning on incorporating this version of Joker into anything in the Batman story, so it's a take on the backstory of Joker. I mean, shoot, Tim Burton's movie did a backstory on the Joker. So, it's not like this is the first, but Joker's a great movie. It is a great movie. I think I'd give Joker a solid 8. I'm not sure exactly what score I'd give it, to be honest. It's at least an 8. But I might actually go higher even, but I'd have to see it again, apply the critical eye to it. Okay, well, Jalen, I mean, even if you say, well, those ones worked, it's like, okay, well, then you can't really say you hate the idea of a backstory because you just said that you thought those two worked. So the idea of a backstory is not inherently something you dislike. And you literally just said there were two that you thought worked. So, at the very least, it's possible that you could like the movie Joker. And maybe you won't. Maybe you won't like it. Maybe you think it's not a good movie. But, and the Killing Joke movie, by the way, is terrible. So I don't blame you for not liking that. Because the Killing Joke movie sucks. I even think Alan Moore's comic is slightly overrated. I do like the comic, but I think when people prop it up as like one of the 2 best Batman comics, I think, I wouldn't put it that high. I don't think it's quite that great. Jalen, real clowns are real people. I hope you know that. Clowns are not a different breed. They're not a separate race of people. I don't know what you're saying. What does that even mean? I really don't know what that means. Oh no. Him being a serial killer or mob killer makes sense. Person who becomes a killer clown. Ow. Dang, those health things are nothing. I think that's going to wrap this play session up. Well, all killers start as most killers tend to start as regular people, though. Although the important thing to know with the killing, granted, I don't remember if the animated version makes this clear, but the actual comic of the Killing Joke, the backstory they give at the end, they allude to that it might just be pure BS. So they give a backstory, but it's not really a functional backstory because he's like, he says something at the end where it's like, yeah, I'm remembering it this way right now, but it's kind of multiple choice in my own head. Like he remembers various versions of his backstory at times, so there's nothing definitive. But anywho, that is going to wrap up today's stream. I want to thank everybody who joined me live, and anybody else who joins the stream after the fact. Be sure to head over to my main channel, or tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be discussing the film Forrest Gump. It should be lots of fun. And as for Returnal, I'm thinking I will probably be back on tomorrow, probably about 2 p.m. again. So hope to see you there. Until then, good night, God bless, and Godspeed.